Chapter 1. "But I'll warn you," the man said. "What I'm about to show you isn't for the faint of heart." For the first time in a long time, Agent Ella Dark was at a loss for words. The man dissolved into the darkness, turned around, and asked one last question. "Are you coming?" The trail had brought Ella to this place. For over a year, Ella Dark had been investigating the mysterious death of her father. As a 5-year-old girl, Ella had found her old man, Ken, dead in his bed. The autopsy results said he died of a lack of oxygen and nothing more. But Ella remembered blood, a cloaked figure, a gleaming blade. The memory had distorted over the years, and it changed with every reimagining. But Ella knew that natural causes didn't take her father away. Old Ken was a picture of health, the kind of man who could sail through storms and not break a sweat. Now, she was in the abandoned building that once belonged to Imperium Brands, a manufacturer of cigars and tobacco that had apparently folded 15 years ago. Among her father's possessions, she'd found 4 items hidden away in a secure lockbox. After intense scrutiny, she'd found that all the items had been manufactured in this very building around 30 years ago. If her dad's life or death had a connection to this place, she needed to see it with her own eyes to satiate her curiosity. But if this place was no longer operational, why was there a man here? Why did it resemble a blacksmith's workshop? And why did this stranger claim to know the details of her father's death when it was almost impossible to find anyone who even remembered her dad? "Did you hear me?" the man asked. He was an elderly gent in oil-stained overalls with a bright white mane that matched his mustache. His wrinkled face had succumbed to the harsh Virginia winters, but there was wisdom among the creases. "Yes, sorry," Ella said, her hesitation palpable. Only yesterday she'd returned from West Virginia on a serial case, and the exhaustion was still fresh in her bones. Now this stranger was offering her information on the mystery that had plagued her for 25 years, and so Ella was still lost in that familiar fever state. Nothing seemed real anymore. She felt stuck in that bizarre phase between dream and reality. "Follow me." Ella ventured down a claustrophobic tunnel, her footsteps echoing off the walls as she followed the mysterious figure. She moved cautiously, unsure of what might await her at the end. The darkness seemed to swallow up any hint of light from behind, leaving Ella in an eerie and uncertain state that elevated her heart rate to an unhealthy level. But still she walked on, trusting that whatever lay ahead would be worth it. A similar, smaller workshop appeared, the walls lined with rusty tools of the trade. Shovels, iron bars, hammers, fire pit pokers, all either charred or corroded, but they all looked like they still packed a punch. A metal bench lay along the far wall, individual components of some metalwork project, lined up like soldiers ready for battle. "What is this place?" Ella asked. "My office," the man said with a smile. "I mean this whole place. It's not still in operation, right?" "No, but I own the building. I use it for recreation." His grandfatherly smile lit up the otherwise dingy room. Then he turned and began rearranging the metal pieces on the bench. "So, your dad. Please, tell me everything. I've learned everything I can, but I keep hitting brick walls. What do you know?" "First, tell me what you think you know." Ella went to spill everything from the beginning. She'd been rehearsing this speech for years, but had to stop and consider the implications. Who was this man? Was he trustworthy? Was there any way he was just a rambling lunatic?